Ever felt like a puppet on strings controlled by unseen forces? You're not alone. In this whirlwind of a world, manipulation is as pervasive as the air we breathe. It's a subtle art, a craft honed by those who seek to influence our actions and decisions. It's the invisible hand that nudges us, often without our awareness, guiding our choices, our attitudes, and even our perceptions. The advertisements that sway our buying habits, the news that colors our worldview, the social media algorithms that dictate our feeds, all are forms of manipulation that we encounter daily. They shape our reality, often leading us down paths we might not choose if we were truly in control. But what if we could break free from these invisible strings? What if we could navigate life, not as puppets but as the masters of our own destiny? This isn't a pipe dream but a possibility thanks to a timeless philosophy known as Stoicism. Stoicism, a school of thought dating back to the 3rd century BC, teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. It's about finding inner calm amidst external chaos. It's a philosophy that empowers us to take charge of our lives, to resist manipulation, and to live authentically, in line with our true values. Imagine going through life with a clear mind, unswayed by external pressures. Imagine making decisions based on your own judgments, not influenced by the hidden agendas of others. Imagine living a life that's authentically yours, free from the subtle tyranny of manipulation. That's what Stoicism offers. It's a philosophy not just for surviving in a world rife with manipulation, but for thriving in it. It teaches us to discern the genuine from the deceptive, the essential from the trivial, the empowering from the enslaving. So if you've ever felt manipulated, if you've ever felt like your life is being directed by unseen forces, remember this: you're not alone. And there's a way to take back control. There's a way to cut the strings and become the master of your own life. But don't worry, Stoicism offers a way out. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, yet so relevant today. Born in the heart of Athens over 2,000 years ago, Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us about the art of living. It was founded by Zeno of Citium, a merchant-turned-philosopher who sought to understand how to lead a virtuous and meaningful life, irrespective of external circumstances. Stoicism hinges on 2 essential principles. The first is that some things are within our control, like our beliefs, our judgments, our desires and aversions, while others are not, such as other people's opinions, natural events, or the past. The second principle is that our happiness and peace of mind depend on focusing on what we can control and accepting what we can't. This philosophy is not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them, managing them, and not letting them control our actions and reactions. It's about developing an inner fortress, a resilience that allows us to remain calm, composed, and rational, even in the face of adversity. Now you may wonder, why Stoicism? Why now? Well, in today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, we are constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and influences. This can, unintentionally or not, manipulate our thoughts, our emotions, our decisions. Stoicism, with its focus on self-control and inner strength, provides a robust framework to maintain our autonomy. It encourages us to question, to reflect, to decide for ourselves, rather than being swayed by external forces. It's not about being indifferent or detached. It's about being grounded, being true to oneself, and not letting others dictate our thoughts or actions. Stoicism reminds us that we are the masters of our minds, our emotions, and our lives. Now that we know what Stoicism is, let's delve deeper into how it can help us avoid being manipulated. Ready to reclaim your independence? Here's how Stoicism can guide you. First off, let's delve into the Stoic principle of understanding your own values. Stoics believe that it's essential to know what truly matters to you. This is your armor against manipulation. When you are clear about your values, you can make decisions that align with them, rather than being swayed by external influences. So, take some time to reflect on what's truly important to you. Is it honesty, loyalty, wisdom, courage? The clearer you are about your values, the less likely you are to be manipulated. Secondly, Stoics emphasize the importance of controlling our reactions. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. This is a game changer. When you master your reactions, you become less susceptible to emotional manipulation. Remember, no one can make you feel anything without your consent. The third lesson is practicing self-awareness. Stoicism teaches us to constantly observe ourselves, to understand our motivations, our fears, our desires. The more aware you are of your own actions and motivations, the harder it is for others to manipulate you. The fourth Stoic lesson is understanding the impermanence of everything. Stoics remind us that everything changes, everything passes. This understanding frees us from the fear of loss, a common tool of manipulators. When you're not afraid to lose, you're not easily manipulated. The fifth lesson is about embracing adversity. Stoics view challenges as opportunities for growth. When you see adversity not as a threat, but as a chance to learn and grow, you become more resilient. And a resilient person is hard to manipulate. So there you have it. 5 powerful Stoic lessons to help you avoid manipulation. Understand your values, control your reactions, practice self-awareness, recognize the impermanence of all things, and embrace adversity. And that's just the beginning. There's more to Stoicism than meets the eye. Eager for more? Let's dive deeper into the wisdom of Stoicism. Our fourth lesson is all about focusing on what we can control. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from trying to control things that are simply beyond our reach. Whether it's the weather, the traffic, or other people's opinions, these are all things we can't control. And yet, we often let them dictate our emotions and actions. Instead, we should focus our energy on the things we can change, our responses, our attitudes, our choices. This shift in focus can liberate us from unnecessary stress and frustration. Moving on to our fifth lesson, let go of what you can't control. This might sound like the previous lesson, but there's a subtle difference. Focusing on what you can control is about directing your energy wisely. Letting go of what you can't control, however, is about acceptance. By accepting the things we can't change, we free ourselves from the burden of futile worry. It's about understanding that some things are just not in our hands, and that's okay. Our sixth lesson is about learning to be content with ourselves. The Stoics taught that we should find satisfaction not in external possessions or accomplishments, but in our own virtues and character. In a world that often measures worth by material success, this can be a challenging lesson to embrace. But by finding contentment in who we are, we become less susceptible to the influence and manipulation of others. The seventh lesson is about practicing mindfulness. The Stoics believed in the power of being present and fully engaged in every moment. This doesn't mean we should ignore the future or forget the past. Instead, it's about appreciating the now and not letting our worries or regrets distract us from the present. Our final lesson is about the power of perspective. The Stoics taught that our perception of events, not the events themselves, determines our response. By changing our perspective, we can change our emotional response. This can be a powerful tool against manipulation, allowing us to see things as they truly are, not as others want us to see them. By embracing these lessons, we can become immune to manipulation. Knowing is one thing, applying is another. Let's dive into how to apply these Stoic lessons in your everyday life. Firstly, embrace the impermanence of life. Things change, people come and go, and nothing lasts forever. Instead of resisting these changes, Stoicism teaches us to accept and adapt. For instance, if you lose your job, instead of spiraling into despair, see it as an opportunity to explore new avenues. Secondly, practice indifference to things outside your control. Traffic jam on your way to work. Instead of fuming, use it as an opportunity to listen to an audiobook or a podcast. Remember, it's not the event, but our reaction to it that matters. Thirdly, know the value of your time. Time is the only thing you can't get back, so spend it wisely. If someone tries to manipulate you into doing something you don't want, remember that your time is precious and should be spent on things that matter to you. Fourthly, learn to be content with what you have. In the age of social media, it's easy to feel envious of others. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own journey and be grateful for what we have. Instead of comparing your life to others, appreciate your own achievements. Lastly, understand that it's okay to say no. You have the right to set boundaries and protect your peace of mind. If someone's behavior is causing you distress, It's perfectly okay to distance yourself. To truly apply these lessons, it's important to practice them daily. Just like a muscle, your Stoic mindset needs regular exercise to grow stronger. It might not be easy at first, but with persistence, you will see a positive change in your life. Applying Stoicism is not about becoming emotionless or indifferent, but about gaining control over your reactions and focusing on what truly matters. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of manipulation and becoming the master of your own life. Remember, you have the power to control your own life. Don't let others pull your strings.